Early for me. The fuck is this? Crazy. Crazy insane? Crazy insane. Crazy insane. People really try hard. Had that. We'll see how long it goes. Oh, that's right. The audio on those are terrible. Saves it regardless. Not too close. Better. That was perfect. Yeah, take that. Well, guten morning. This is the Chocolate Mountain Show, and I am your host. Eight Wind is Timeless. I'm the holder of the infinite ball game that was created by the hero twin. From the universe, from Minnesota to the universe. And tonight's special sponsor is Drakkar for the man who has nothing. No glass. And the beer tonight is Ondox Kloster Graffer Lieb Double Bacher Dunkel. So pop them if you got them. Pop them if you got them. Smoke them if you want them. And I'm going to grab a glass. because I forgot that prop. And it's going to be a short show. I'm not going to go all night. I saw Jesse Lynn came in. I'm going to do about an hour tonight. Hey, Jesse Lynn. Yes, I hope all is well as for you as well. How is it down there in the Lone Star State? You know, it's messed up. You know, I did the thing on the Purge last night. It's messed up that they put it there. You know, they talk about cities being lost. Hey, Crazy Sars, thank you for joining. Bucks hospital rings. Bucks rings don't count. They turned the magnets off for Joe Harris. You know it. They probably did. Hey, PJ, thank you for joining. Giannis and his 50-piece, 50 nuggets. Exactly. And where's Lorenzo? Lorenzo talking about it was over. It was not over. The final points was 203. It was under. The under was the play last night. Cleansing the space. Yeah. I did that. I was doing that yesterday and day before, but I just did it with some incense. KD beat LeBron. Giannis beat inexperienced Suns. Yeah. That's a good point. I woke up like this. Wait, I didn't sleep. How did I wake up? I've been like this. 50p was just more stereotyping a Chick-fil-A advertisement. There you go. Nate Robinson, Bucks winning third ring. They're going to give him a Nimbus. You know that. They're going to give him a Nimbus. Hey, Johnny, thank you for joining. Anise, thank you for joining. Hey, Brisk Crown, thank you. Just watched the original Space Jam, and I swear it predicted the pandemic. Really? Hey, Vernetta, glad to see you. Really? I didn't get that. It was somebody else, one of my other people. Oh, I know who it is. My one friend said he had never watched the original. We had we didn't keep all them toys. All them toys is work. We had the original. We had the hard, like one Christmas gave one of the boys the hard one, the stand-up one. The other, one of our other sons, we had the plush. Maybe I had two of the plush Jordans, and them is worth money nowadays. So kind of hate we didn't keep those. But one thing I hate about dolls is I hate, and you know, my girls were so much younger than when the boys came around. Space Jam, I think my 26-year-old was 4 or 5. Maybe he was in kindergarten or even before kindergarten. And somebody took all the clothes off Michael Jordan. I kept trying to keep him on. Then the plastic hard one looked like he had some compression shorts. So when it was underneath, so one of the boys that take all the clothes off, you know how they do. Say Space Jams has a plan that looked like that. Wow. When the players put on the mask. That's right. They sure did. They sure did. My grandmother has my Space Jam cookie jar. Okay. They still did Jabari Parker wrong, too. Same draft, but kept Giannis, and he's American born number 2. That's right. Parker was with that squad. Because I want to say it was Parker, Giannis, and then Shotty was their 3 picks. Parker, Giannis, and Shotty. Or was Giannis the second pick that year? Giannis might have been the second pick that year. No, because Giannis is older. Well, my son will be 27 this year. It was 13, right? 13 draft. Golf balls moving like they're magnets inside someone controlling it. Well, remember, that's how they – right. Well, I mean, we know that you can buy what's called retrievable golf balls. You can buy golf balls, so if you hit the ball out in the rough, you can bring it back on the course. And we've seen them that in golf forever. That's been part of golf forever. Zach did a video, I did a video where, it's like a golf ball just don't drop, and stop on a dime. It'll slow down. But what we see sometimes is like it'll bounce, and then just stop, or roll and just stop. The momentum of something rolling, it kind of rolls slow, not just rolls and so they've had that for a long time. They've had that for a long time. Currently, Mexico, I've been here almost a month. I left Texas for now. Okay, we'll be safe. Bet it's hot down. Tiger Woods has been robbed so many times. Well, I still say that Tiger Woods has been professionally attacked. I think the first time they got him, he was professionally attacked. That wasn't a woman. And then this time they tried to kill him. So whatever he's doing, he's fighting them some kind of way. He seems to be fighting them some kind of way because they only want to kill you when you stop listening. And it's twice that he's went ahead after whatever they did. So he's got some kind of fight. Can't say he ain't working for them, but there's something about him that's fighting them for them to keep going after him. Oh, okay. I will answer that later. Okay. So that's the way I look at Tiger Woods. Something's going on with him where he's we all know that they with them, but there's something about him that's against them. For them to keep trying, they quit. They quit pretty easy, but I mean they try to kill you, but they've haven't stopped with him, and he hasn't stopped. So now we know that. Can't say he can't shoot low on a golf course. I'd never say that. I would never say none of them can't do that. But if you follow golf, like what was the young dude a few years ago won the Masters? Koepka or something like that, Koepka or whatever his name was. And then you watched his career, like when it turned off, you can see these dudes not even qualifying sometimes. So you can see the difference where they was trying to get some spark in golf, because golf is boring. It's hard to televise. It's harder to watch. It's harder to watch. Golf is hard to watch without Tiger. Tiger at least gave some momentum, a little more energy to it. But without Tiger, it is like pulling teeth to watch. So Matsumuya won the Masters right after the Asian spa shooting. Yeah, Nate. Nate, we saw that. CP3 State Farm commercial of a buck wrecking his car. Wars that symbolize this year. Yeah, CWE. We've been saying that for weeks. Somebody threw that in the chat maybe a month ago. Seemed like one of the Gematria crew that comes in and out threw that out. And so we've been looking at that. and it is funny of my recent videos, people like the Chris Paul video, so that's kind of funny. That's really funny that people can see that. They can see that he's the lovable loser, and they do that to him. It's like when it's like trying to think who else. Oh, Curry. When Curry lost and they took him out the game, remember they kept the camera on him? It was almost like that. That was his shame moment. Like, that's why I showed us, like, why is the camera even on him? But they've been doing him like that since he got hurt. When he was hurt with his wrist or hand was broke, they were showing the camera on Curry and he's on the sideline because they want to keep you in its, keep you in mind. They want you to keep him in mind, keep you in his psyche. He's one of our stars. So no matter what he does, we're going to give him camera time. Guinness won't win another one. Maybe they need Tiger to have a reason to sit out somewhere else. Somebody else could win. I don't know. Even if he was healthy, he could have won again. I have Gematria showing KD wins in Brooklyn. If they get rid of, if they can get rid of Harding, I agree. But if they don't get rid of Harding, If they keep Harding through the playoffs next year, they ain't gonna win. Harding ain't no different than Paul. Look at the dudes. Look at most dudes who they let lead scoring. They don't usually let them win. All them years, Gerving led scoring. They ain't never let him win. Oh, okay. She keep hitting me with stuff, and I'm reading what she writing. I'll get her back when I get done. So I don't know. I think long as they keep Harding is no different from Paul. Long as Paul ain't gonna get it, Harding ain't gonna get it. So now I always keep open to Oscar Robertson. I always keep open that. But Oscar Robertson had Bill Russell in front of him and Wilt at one time. That was Wilt's problem. He couldn't get in front of the Eastern Conference Finals, get over Bill Russell. And then when he finally left, he loses to Russell in 69. And I don't think they won the title to what, 72? I think it's 72 when they won. Yeah, 71. They won it at 70. No. The Lakers won 72 when they went 33-0, 32-0. I think that was 72, 73 season, I believe. Because Jabbar won, and then I think the Lakers won. Yeah, the Lakers won the next year. Yeah, because that would have been what, Jabbar's third year they won it? Yeah, he won it in his third year. Or 33, won it in his third year. So I don't know. Jordan, James Harden, 64, Brooklyn Nets, 64. He's supposed to be on the Nets and win. To be on the Nets and win, I don't know. I would say no. I would say if he's healthy, I would say this. If he gets hurt before they go on their run, then yeah, he could get a ring. But like this year, if he's mostly healthy, going into playoffs, they ain't gonna win with him. He ain't meant to win. And I'm not backing off of that. Both of Kareem's teams won back-to-back. First the Lakers, then the Nets. Both of Kareem's teams won back-to-back. First the Lakers and the Nets. Both of Kareem's teams. The Bucks didn't win back-to-back. Kareem didn't win another championship. Kareem played on some subpar teams up until Magic came. I mean, up until like Kareem didn't win in 72. He didn't win in 73. He didn't win again until 79-80. Now, once they won the first one in 79, they didn't win in 80. 80-81 season. They didn't win. They won what, 79, 81? You better have your key. You interrupted me. All right, let me let this guy in who calls himself my son. Doing down there? Don't be walking down there.
I was hiding.
Oh, really nasty down there. All right. He's hiding. He's about to be hiding and locked up this month. Both of Kareem's team played for one back-to-back years, 219 and 220. Kareem played for it? What? Both of teams Kareem played for won back-to-back. I see what you're saying. You're saying the Lakers won and then 20. Okay. Lorenzo, you was wrong about the over and under. You was wrong. It was 203. I thought I was right. I knew it was like I kept adding it up. So he was wrong. It was under. It was 203 last night. They said I should have made your big ass go through the window.
Oh.
Yeah, your head wouldn't have fit. You know, you seen a big lion's mane, big ass head like that? That's him. Look at all face. If he was a criminal, you know, like a super villain, he would be called All Face. Stick your face in some dough and make gorilla cookies. That's a Red Fox joke. Harden, KD finna sign contract extensions this summer. Well, that's gonna doom the Nets. Then that's gonna doom the net. Liquid fire. What's happening? That would doom the Nets if he signed extension with them. Like I was about to say, is the only thing that would happen is if Harding later in his career took up the role that Nate Archibald took up, where he could go and plug in. And Archibald, I would say Archibald did the same thing as Oscar. Oscar had all them good years in Cincinnati. He never won, but he never had a cream, even though he did have Wayne Embry.
Oscar Robinson?
Mm-hmm. He didn't win until 71, and then they lost in 76. They lost in 74. They had a really good team in 74. I want to say, did Boston? Yeah, Boston won in 74. They really should have won. Kareem hit that hook from the corner. No, the number I saw was 222. I know the score was okay. Yeah. Yeah, the score total was 203. So the under hit last night. The under did hit. Kind of hate I didn't put any money on it.
What, that they would come back after the second?
No, that the over and under was under. That would have been good money. Because they scored 203. It was what was 98 to 105, some shit like that. But it came to 203. So that was the money last night. Didn't you just go to the store?
So?
You didn't grab nothing?
I didn't.
What did you ride for?
Going along.
Okay. Somebody just calls you and says, let's go to the store?
No. No, the guy here was like, yo, we're going to the store. So I come and I was like, sure.
Okay. Where's you? Oh, all right. Giannis is now overrated. Well, like I was saying with, their picks. They get the boy from Chicago. They get Giannis. They get Shoddy. And how is it that the two American players is gone? Now, the guy from Chicago, he hurt his knee. I mean, he tore up both knees. Now, it has slowed him down. Parker. And he ain't the same player after both knee injuries. And I understand it's a tough break. Dudes get hurt. That's a tough break. Dudes can get hurt. So, but I still don't see why they got rid of Shoddy. I don't understand. The player that took his position, it's two. It's the one forward, number 24. But Shoddy was more of a 2-3 because Shoddy's taller than both number 24, and he's taller than the dude from Villanova. He's taller, Vincentino. He's taller than both of them. Just as good as player, not as good athlete. He's not as a good athlete as them two. I'll say that. But at 6'6", he was covering. He was doing all the switches. I was impressed with his defense. I didn't see him make the defensive effort in high school. I saw it in the NBA. So you replace him with a dude that's more athletic but shorter. So the matchups is harder when DiVincenzo got to guard somebody 6'6", and what he's 6'3", 6'4". Like we've been arguing. Here we go. Me and my son been arguing all day, trying to say Marky Mark is 6 foot. Y'all remember Marky Mark sang with the Funky Bunch?
I think it's not 6'4".
6 foot.
No, he's not. He's 5'8".
Yeah, he's 5'8" or 5'6".
Yeah, what about it?
That's what we was arguing about. What is that for?
It's a bomb.
Okay. Why are you leaving my door open?
So I'm going back outside.
That is like to make like a still or some shit.
It's a bomb.
No bomb.
It's a bomb up.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Little Mark. Yeah, Little Mark. Jabari Parker. Yeah, Jabari Parker, Lorenzo. Dude, I disagree with you saying Adam Silver gave Nets Harding without veto, but agreed to throw the playoffs with fake injuries for the Bucks. Can't just say that's why they disagree. But yeah, Parker. I'm sorry, I'm looking at him. I don't know. I just don't see Harding winning. Same way as Chris Paul. I don't think Chris Paul gonna win. I don't know where he can move now. If you go to the Lakers, he might have a chance. That might be his Nate Archibald, Oscar Robertson kind of move. But and Chris Paul was bold, like I ain't retiring. Like really, there ain't younger dudes that's taller than him that can fill his void. I mean, they kept showing his highlights where he was throwing the ball away. Even my friend called me. My boy, my guy Tony, he was calling me. He was like, "What? He's throwing it where people aren't." I mean, you could obviously see that Paul was definitely point shaving Game 3 and Game 4. He was point shaving. So I don't know. Harden will get carried by KD. It's not a matter of that. I don't think the league wants Harden to have a title. I just don't see it. That's good vibrational song. Had to have a sister on the hook. Oh yeah, Martha Washington. You know, as much as they stole from her, remember they did that other song. Everybody was her, and they put a girl in the video couldn't even speak English and tried to. They Melly Vanelli'd her. Remember that? Remember that song? Everybody. That was her too. And they Milli Vanilli'd her. Put the girl on Soul Train and everything. Y'all remember that? That's how they did it. And that was Martha Washington. And then when they gave, and actually I had the tape. The tape wasn't bad. It was a song on there, So What You Saying? And it had the Christmas bells that I actually kind of liked. But he threw that hip hop off, that gave him the lift. He threw that off pretty quick. He was like, "Don't call me Marky Mark." Like that didn't give you the lift. So he wasn't like his brother Hanging Tough. He didn't do that at all. So I don't know. Why didn't he veto it? He didn't veto it because Harden ain't gonna win. That's why I let it go, because Harden ain't gonna win. So what did it do for him this year? Of all my predictions, that was one prediction I got right. So 89. They stopped CP3 from teaming up with Kobe. They sure did. But that wasn't Silver. That was the one before. He was the one that did that. That was Stern. Stern did that. And Stern had an interest. The NBA had an interest in the team in New Orleans because it was about to fold. If that dude from the Saints didn't buy the team, that team would have folded. So the NBA owned the team at the time. And if I remember right, the people down there, the board of governors, they thought they was running the team, tried to sell it kind of behind the NBA's back. That's why they vetoed it. They always have us background singers too blowing. Back in my day, we didn't have the NBA. We had the WNA. Okay. What's the WNA? Okay. You think Kadeen says, I think the Nets will win in 22. That same thing happened to Missy Elliott when she did the video Raven Simone. I did. Hayden will win a ring. I have geometry codes. Okay. Can I just press it? You're real, huh? I don't know. I just don't see that I don't see them pushing him. He ain't no different. He is not any different than Paul, other than he don't even get the commercials. Not really. And look at his role far as in the entertainment business, far as in the music business. He already taken a role in that. So I think that's how they're gonna let him benefit from that instead of winning. I think they're gonna give him the business, which is a thing unlike Magic. It gave Magic both. All Magic had to do is come out and said he had the bug back then. Sell condoms, Clippers, I don't know about even the Clippers making the finals. It's connected to Los Angeles. He's going to beat Lakers. Lakers or Clippers in the finals. Now that does sound intriguing. That does sound intriguing. I'll say that. Garner's still going to Golden State. He signed his extension. So what is he locked in? 3 years? 3 years. Garner is staying with the Bucks unless they trade, and they ain't gonna trade him right now. I go hard with Gematria, and Hayden is not winning the chip with Brooklyn. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Yeah, Kwame tore his ACL, so is he going to be ready? Because remember, this year is a quick turnaround. They talking about starting the regular season, the regular in October, and Magic and Hollywood free. And you know what, PJ? I always thought Magic in his older career was going to end up with the Magic because of his name. I was surprised they didn't do that. That he didn't play 1 year down there. Because you know the bad thing that nobody talks about the Dream Team. They don't talk about them dudes hoop with Magic all summer, especially Karl Malone. Because if you remember, like after the Dream Team, Magic went back into the league, and Magic got the highest paid contract. And Karl Malone really thought he was Michael Jordan. And Karl Malone threw dirt on Magic. After traveling with Magic all summer, he put that poison out. Remember, so did Mark Price. I think it hurt Mark Price. I think they got Mark Price later because Mark Price wanted to coach. And I think Magic was able to say some no's on them coaching jobs. But Mark Price put poison on Magic, and Magic did not come out at the beginning of that season. Remember, he came in later. But it was Karl Malone putting that because Magic signed a nice contract that was fatter. And then Karl Malone, after traveling with Magic all year, said he didn't know if he could, play against somebody, go his hardest against somebody with HIV. That's what he said after playing with the man all summer. I don't know if y'all remember that. And that ain't talked about a lot. They talk about Price, though, but they don't mention it was Karl Malone, too. They don't mention it was that. But it was Karl Malone, too. Tesla had a patent pending for invention of infinite food before he died that was snatched by the FBI. I would even say that the New Jersey plant, right? His New Jersey plant that had that wooden thing, whatever that wooden thing was, they said was copper on it. It looked like cell phones. Like I think a lot of people point to, and I think there's some validity to this, is that Tesla's thing was no wires. And with no wires, it was less money put out. So the wires companies wasn't making no money. The people making the poles ain't making no money. And the people digging the holes ain't making no money. So it was like wired against unwired. And I think that was the big fight with Tesla. Oh, Sebastian said he made $200. Yeah, I hate I didn't take the under because I looked at all that stuff. I thought so too. A dude had a jacket back in the day. Come to find it was the Landro Magic. And that jackets was kind of nice. Their starter jackets was kind of nice. New teams, they gave it nice colors. I thought they were kind of nice back in the day. Yeah, it was something about infinite picks where you put a fresh cucumber and a pickle juice and you can have an infinite pickles. Oh, really? I got to look that up because that would be magic. That would actually be magic. That would be a spell. Yeah, that would be a spell more than that would be like from electricity or even out of the ethers. That would be a spell. Wow. And bringing that up, you know how deep a spell that could be if you could just reproduce like fresh fruit and fresh vegetables. Like if you had something that could do that. Do you know how much healthier we would be as a people if we had something where we could just get infinite vegetables and infinite fruit, and that's all we really ate? We'll be so much more healthier people. Durant of New York 1-2-3. Harden first championship equals 3-2-1. Also Demontre of Brooklyn. Okay. I know there's way too many. They was going to hold the players hostage too long by letting LeBron three-peat. Now LeBron can win the next two, no problem. I still say LeBron gonna play with his son, but Karl Malone can impregnate 13. Well, like Kwame Brown ain't got on him. Because Karl Malone got the same deal as dude did. What's his name? Charlemagne. Karl Malone got that same deal. He got her pregnant at 12, 13, 14. And wasn't charged with statutory. I think all he did was had to pay child support. I think that's all he did was had to pay child support. Somebody, more than likely a lawyer, that was probably his first agent. Because like people don't understand why they came after Ali. They didn't see all the business moves that was going around. Because Ali had fired the original people that backed Muhammad Ali was called the Louisville Group. And they put up $1 million or whatever for all his training to hire Angelo Dundee, because first they hired Archie Moore. And when that contract ran out, right when Ali was getting ready to win his first title, he fired them all. And he brought in the Muslims. And they cheated him too. But what Ali didn't understand is full politics, because his draft status, he got that he couldn't read or write. So it was called 1F. So then one of them people he fired was on that draft board. And the country, now I'm saying they did target Ali, but they target a lot of dudes because a lot of dudes wasn't able to, like a lot of brothers wasn't able to go in because they couldn't read or write. So a lot of these brothers was declared what was called 1F, unfit, because academically. And they changed the laws, but they made sure they changed the laws when it affected Ali. Somebody said his freakiness got him that name. Yep. But yep. They gave Karl Malone that same treatment. Good lawyers. I'm hearing Giannis is going to win more than LeBron. Dude said the powers that be want LeBron out. Well, we got to see what it'll be. It'll be like Saturday, the new ratings will come out. What was it, Lorenzo? What did you look up? What is it? Let's see. Tuesday night NBA ratings. See if that comes in. Right here. Nope. NBA TV ratings taking hit during finals, ending disappointment season. Game 6 has attracted most viewers since 19 with a mixed overall results. And wrapped up was an entertaining season round. The game broadcast drew 12.5. What's the percentage though? It's the most watched championship round since Game 6 of the 19 finals between Toronto and Golden State. But again, people didn't watch the bubble. Even this pales in comparison to previous game. So the ratings, 12.5. The Heat Lakers was 8.3. Raptors was 18.3. 16 was the 16 one was 20.7, and the 15 was 20.3. So it seemed like the numbers have been dropping as the years go by. Well, let's see what this says. Yeah, this kind of says what 12.5 viewers, but as it showed, the championship games in the past was way higher. So, and it says it's a 8.29 million, 51% improvement from last year's of 8.29. We knew the bubble sucked, but less than the year before, full season. But higher 33% higher than the pandemic finals, which looks so fake. Because last year was the all-time low. But from the last full-time finals, it was down. It was down 35%. So, yeah. But it beat American Got Talent, and it beat the some Olympic break or something. So, not killing it. Not killing it at all. Game 5 has 6 million viewers. Wow, that sucked. No, it said they had 10 million viewers, but 12.5 million. They say game 6 was 10, but 12.5 million. That's more than I thought. More, yeah, but less than before. Games of 21 finals are low, and don't let game 6 fool you. Hey, Samuel, thanks for joining. They tired of LBJ. Game 5 has 6 million viewers. Okay. What's good, 8 Win? I miss your lives. I remember correctly, you're in New York. So no, I'm in Minnesota. Keep messing with my nose. Okay, I'm sorry they do that, Big H. Yeah, I'm smooth. I'm definitely smooth. So they took a hit. We see they took a hit. LeBron in the finals would make the finals lower. I don't know. They'd have made it this year. I don't know. Depending on everybody healthy. Not sure about that. I don't know if the country is I'll tell you what's going to be the tell. The tell is going to be the commercials. See if Ghana's getting any more commercial success. And I would tend to say no. He wasn't getting no commercial success before. I mean, again, Chris Paul's killing it. Right now, LeBron got the movie out, which he's going to make more money in that movie than Chris Paul done made from All-State all 3 years. And Paul doesn't do any he have a shoe with Nike, but you be seeing his shoes in Marshalls. So Chris Paul ain't killing in the shoe game other than mugs that just love his type of shoe. So stop watching NBA because of LeBron. Oh no, you have a moderator now. You stepped up your game. Okay, Big H. It's just a matter of going back to the computers. That's Adrian Settles. Hey, what's happening? I don't know, CWE. I don't know. It's like you had to be a real basketball fan to watch that shit last year. I only did 1 or 2 games of the finals. It was all so bogus that it was just like, I'm not going to give them any more publicity other than that game because it was obvious what we saw every game. I mean, they blow up Beverly. And Beverly is fouling and holding, and they don't call anything. But as someone said before, the games before that, they was fouling his ass out. He was getting 4 fouls in the first half. But then with Booker, he gets to break his nose, and he gets to hold him, and they highlight it. It was like they highlight, like I should have made a video on them, how many turnovers they did with Chris Paul, because they kept showing that shit over and over again of him point shaving. But see, when I see that, it's like they want me to take the bait. And in my thinking, they showed it too many times. But it was point shaving. If you watch Chris Paul and the way they highlighted it, and ESPN highlighted it, as well as the finals. Oh, do y'all see that Taylor left? So Taylor's going to be, watch this shit. Taylor's going to sign a contract tomorrow, and she's going to be in the Olympics probably Friday, Saturday. Watch how quick she moves. Because at first they said ESPN signed her. That's what they said early last week, that she was going to stay through the finals and they was going to re-sign her. But they were saying that the NBC contract was looming. And now they say this chick is going to get into the Olympics and she going to get Sunday Night Football. So she making a power move. Yeah, the bubble was so boring. Yep. Do you think the NFL players will sit out to get more pay? Sebastian, they tried it. And, a dopehead, Lawrence Taylor, and Montana. Lawrence Taylor, because he was a fiend, he broke the picket line. But Montana's the one that crushed it. And that's why they got the weakest union. They just now giving the top players guaranteed money. Your bonus is always, NFL has always did like this. Your only guaranteed money is bonuses. You sign as a rookie, and then you get a bonus. But that was pretty much the only guaranteed money. You could sign these big contracts, but you got cut in the NFL. Wasn't none of that money guaranteed. So, yeah, Maria Taylor left today. She left today. Yesterday was her last day. So they talking about she going to be in the Olympics by Friday, Saturday. She's signing with NBC. We'll see. This is off the subject. I want to ask everyone in chat, what is the best place to visit, or should I just stay away from there? I mean, in America, it depends on, if you stay somewhere else where you want to go, it's a lot of beautiful places. It was, as I mentioned before, my uncle came here from Atlanta, was like telling me places that I had never heard of that stuff. And so it's a lot to do here. It's just, I live here, so I don't hardly do much of it. I go out to the mall when I want to get deals, the Mall of America, but it's the outlet closer. And it's a mall even closer than the outlet that got most of the shit I want. So it's a lot of beautiful places, though. Travel this year. I don't see no way not to travel. Travel. If you can travel by car or fly, whatever. Yeah, Maria Taylor goes NBC. That's what the word was. They was trying to sign her before these playoffs. Yep. I'm at 50-year anniversary. Okay. We'll see, CWE. I was like, don't celebrate 5 for 6. Nets versus Lakers or Nets versus Clippers. Could be. They don't seem to like the Clippers, though. Clippers been in the league for 50 years now. Comes to throwing games, he learned from the kid's father. Hey, what do you expect from CP when it comes to throwing games? He learned from his kid's father. You think Tom Brady can go to the bank, withdraw $3 million, but I can't buy a McLaren? Yeah, that's a good point. We make up there. I'll hit you up, Unc. Okay. I still want to go to Football Hall of Fame. So I might have to come down there. CP3, Harden, LeBron James, all kings of throwing games. Yeah. LeBron, that Dallas series, if you want to show some fixed basketball, scripted basketball, turn back to that Dallas series. Them turnovers that CP3 was doing, LeBron was doing the same shit. He was doing the same kind of thing, throwing them away during crucial point. That's a point, because especially looking at NFL players, because NFL players be going broke really quick. And they even mock NFL players and say 5 years after playing, they broke. And they broke because it ain't the money that they say that is not there. It can't be. It can't be. You can't tell me, like, they want to tell you some of these players had $100 million and now they broke. And they want to tell you they bought jewelry and houses and bad investments. If you buy the house, the only payment you got is the taxes. So you telling me these players wasn't smart enough just to buy the houses? They leased everything. It was like Spreewell up here. They said he couldn't keep paying for a boat. Well, if you're moving somewhere, I see why he didn't want to pay for the boat. If you live here, the boat is cool. You move somewhere, but you find out not to buy boats, not big boats. Better to rent big boats. And he had a big boat. And the price kills you. This year, all the boats is you bottoming out because of lack of water. Is that anywhere else? Like right now, it's smoke here. Like my daughter had a thing today for a baton. I guess I want to get off into that for a minute. But, well, I'll get back into the baton. But like, the fires, and because of the drought, the fires in Canada, we seeing nothing but smoke. My mother lives like kind of midpoint, but she lives miles from the U.S. Dome, U.S. Bank Stadium. And she's on the 5th floor, and, the city's right there. And she can see the downtown. She can see, she can't see the Target Center, but she can see the football stadium, U.S. Bank. And she said it was so cloudy from the smoke coming from Canada, she couldn't see it. So is anybody getting that? Anybody else seeing all this smoke coming from Canada? Because these been hazy days, but it's been hazy days from the smoke and not just naturally. So, but I want to get into, like, my daughter does baton, and they had their final show today for the parents. And what's interesting, it is so much skill, like being a receiver. And I've talked about this before. So my daughter's been born to do this, but it is the skill level of even catching a baseball. It's very similar. I mean, like there's one thing where they throw you a baton blindly over your head. And it's the same way when you run for a football and you look up, where you time it, you see, and then there come a point where you just run and put your hands up because you can't run fast with your hands up. And it's the same thing. And then they did some shit where they make it spin around their wrist and they catch it every time like this. Not like this. They catch it like this. And My daughter's mother was telling me that's one of the hardest things to do, where they flip it and they backhand it every time. And of course, the juggling is just juggling, but to throw it and then do a move and then to catch it, to catch enough of it to, it's the same thing. It's the same skill. It's the same muscle memory of catching a football. It's interesting. As I watch that stuff, I can appreciate it. Euro finals, London, England, hundreds, if not thousands of people paid for tickets. So where is this at? Big H said, yeah, Booker fake ass. Yeah, Booker couldn't stop on a dime, couldn't beat Portis one-on-one, couldn't drive Portis left and then stop and hit. Yeah, all that was. Did you hear about the Euro 21 finals in London? Hundreds, if not thousands of people snuck into the stadium, and fans that paid for tickets started fighting the people without tickets. Nah, I didn't check that out. That sounds funny, though. I didn't get to see that. Ooh. Here in Cleveland, I see the smoke. Okay, CJ say he see the smoke too. Okay. I have gematria for Raiders versus Bucks. Oh, okay, in Super Bowl 56. That would be interesting because when people get these new stadiums, they do like to show them off. Rodgers got to get traded to the Raiders. Who would Raiders giving up, though? Who would the Packers want? Picks? I don't know if they would want picks. Who the Raiders got to give up? Carr? Because they were saying that Love dude was about to get cut. Or their backup quarterback, the one that Rodgers got mad they drafted him instead of getting him receivers. They drafted a quarterback. Okay. So I don't know who the Raiders got to give up. I don't know who the Raiders got to give up. Since CPO3 a part of the players union, he can teach and walk of shame seminar. That's funny, Lorenzo. Bart Starr 16 seasons, Brett Favre 16 seasons, and we 16 seasons. Yeah, but Bart Starr won what? 6 titles. 6 titles and 2 Super Bowls. Or 5. No, I think he won 6. 5 or 6 titles. And them other ones only won 1 each. So Rodgers coming to the Broncos. PJ say Rodgers coming to the Broncos. Hey, Key, what's happening? They don't. Why Rodgers wants out? I think Rodgers didn't like the coordinator. He didn't like the coach pick. The coach pick didn't match what he wanted to do, the offense that he would thrive in. And then they didn't invest, with receivers or backs to help him. Now they have helped him with the line, but they definitely haven't helped him skill position. And a lot of people blame, them not really having a real owner, conglomerate. They have more of a conglomerate in Green Bay. Everybody has shares of it. So they don't quite really have a real owner that can just pull it. Just pull it. So there's a couple things I want to mention. You know what they calling the Floyd shit now? They calling the Floyd shit the Minnesota effect. Because they're saying, Floyd was the ass whooping that was hurled around the world, but it had an effect that made everybody. Like I remember the first time I heard something like this was the Rodney King thing. And I remember my cousin that was in Atlanta at Emory University at the time, and she was saying they went crazy in Atlanta. And I was thinking, why did you go crazy in Atlanta over something that happened in LA? Another aspect they called was how they ran this thing at first was called the Ferguson effect from the Mike Brown. Other people kind of came in a little upset about Mike Brown. But the Minnesota effect, again, as I was saying many times since January, easily and before, even especially on my other channel, is this has been a test state. And this test state, they've had the Young murder, and then they had Khalil. What was his name? The dude who was he was a lunch worker, basically. He had been working for the school. His murder on Facebook Live. This was a test thing. And so then finally the test was the Minnesota effect. And you can even look at when they when they arrested Floyd the first time, it was kind of looked like a practice a little bit, because he kept going, "Oh, my mama, man." And then he changed it, calling his mama name out when whatever happened there. So the Minnesota effect, which I thought was very interesting. And you know, like I did want to say this before I get on. I can't look my stuff up. I'm using the phone. Oh, this is the thing. Like when a lot of people talk about the flat plane, the 2D, they don't really look at it from the quantum perspective because they really don't want to go to them. They really can't look at flat plane from the quantum perspective because it doesn't work. And it really doesn't work because of flat plane is 2D. And as I explained before, there's no up and down in 2D. I mean, no matter what you do, there's no up and down. There's no way possible for 2D ever to have up and down. Now, there is on top and on the bottom. There is that. But there's no true up and down because on 2D, it couldn't exist. And so people have to consider that. And that's why I say over and over again, 2D or flat plane is an illusionary. It's a lot of illusionary for it to exist. Because things can't solidly exist without illusion because of the lack of up or down. And there's no way you can make that. You can't interject it other than illusion. So, yeah, Ryan, what's happening? The killings are scripted. You know what, though? Not just scripted. We have to look at killings differently. They're human sacrifices. When they do kill people, it's human sacrifice. It is not killing. It is killing, but it's killing in a human sacrifice way. Because that's part of, what is this, a capitalist system? But the people behind the capitalist system need human sacrifice. And so that is what we've always seen here. They try to call it riots and all this and lynchings, but no, this is a country based on human sacrifice. It has never went away. This is how the people that came in believed in. They believed in human sacrifice. It has never went away. It's funny. I was watching some stuff on the History Channel that was talking about the Inquisition. And, you know, that's my thing. Inquisition was only against one people. It wasn't really against a group of people. It was against one people. And they stay away from Inquisition. They don't like talking about it. They make you think that it was Christian. No, it wasn't, definitely not Christians. Inquisition, it was against one people. Now, keep in mind, they was in war against the Moors. And the Moors was all the way on the port town. It was way far away. But what Isabella held, she put in the Inquisition. And her people went to work on one nationality of people, or whatever you want to call them. The JFPs. That's what Inquisition was about. It was for them. That is why they went to America. That is why the first people that paid for Columbus to go to America was not Isabella. It was a JFP person. So this system has always been based on human sacrifice, because if you go back in history, it's pretty much one group of people that have always been linked to human sacrifice. That is why when the Spanish come in, they go so hard against the Aztecs. Because they were supposed to have stopped it, but it seems like they kept doing it when they came to America. They human sacrificed a lot of people. Yes, human sacrifice becomes some laws gets implemented. Some laws get implemented. Yeah. What's these JFP people? Come on, I'm not gonna say it. JFP. Okay, the last two letters is faith person. The last two letters is faith person. So you can use your imagination to what you want to say the J means. Those are the people that have always been linked to it. And they are the ones that made the push to come over here. Because they were put out. I mean, I know they do the running of the bulls and they tell you that, you know, they put the Moors out. But they put them people out too. Or they was conversos. That was a way to get around it, to be a converso. So to be a converso is what you see in Rome today. You see conversos. You see conversos. You see people that don't practice what they're talking about. They don't practice what they want you to be. They don't practice that. And so it's human sacrifice still going on. This country's been based on that too. So a lot of these murders, that's what it is. Jack wagon. Not the Jesuits. No, they got bosses. Jesuits is the army. I ain't like Zach. I don't say everything is them because it ain't them. It ain't them. Jesuits ain't nothing but the army. And I ain't what army controls everything? Tell me what army controls everything. None. Johnny, there you go. 2:9 and 3:9 the Bible tells us about them. There you go. Not Jesuits. No, it ain't Jesuits. YouTube channel Chalk Eyes broke down a murder in Columbus today by the way of gematria. Okay. Yeah. There you go, Samuel. I'm thinking so too, CJ. He said as much. Because anytime you give excuses and say they ain't the ones, you're kind of padding. You're padding for something else. Swiss Guard. There you go. I think you're right though, CJ. And so that's how you even look at it. Look at information. It's like a person puts out so much good information, but the person stops, and then he puts the blame here when there's a question. Because there's always a question. You want to say it's them, there's a question that sits on top of them. So, exactly. What did I say? That nigga was giddy. He was giddy over that shit. Like he ain't never met no motherfuckers. I ain't never met a motherfucker I've been giddy over. And I done met Jordan and Ali. And I wasn't giddy over any of them. He was giddy like a motherfucker. If y'all saw that shit, that nigga was giddy. Ain't no motherfucker on this. Maybe a hoe could make me giddy. But not no nigga. Ain't no nigga in the world I ever met made me giddy. Yeah. Yeah, Lord Jamar shouted the nigga out, had his book. And you know what, y'all, did y'all ever see? It's no different than this. Check this out. It was no different than when Lord Jamar said Dame name. It's the same thing. It's identical. It's equal to. Remember when Lord Jamar said Dame name? It's the same as that shit. And now Dame got that in his shit. Fuck Lord Jamar. Fuck him. He been with you rock with that motherfucker and you wasn't getting no money, and then you want to pour poison on him because you wasn't getting enough money. Fuck that. You helped make him. So your water on the fire was too late. You phony too. So that's when I said I wouldn't even mention that shit. Motherfuckers, that weird motherfucker said my name. He's a goofy. He with them peoples. He with them peoples. What CJ say about Zach? He with them peoples. And I say this just because you with them peoples don't mean we can't talk, and don't mean you not my enemy. It's just we know you with them peoples, and that's all right. You with them peoples, and that's how you rock. So I bet, like what did Malcolm X say? He liked being in the South because the South, they was wolves. He hated them trying to be foxes in the North, trying to hide that shit. I'd rather you let me see your fangs than try to hide behind that shit. I want to see the real you. It's like I talk shit about what is his name? Brian Lofton, LB, some shit, the conservative. I don't hate that motherfucker. I don't agree with everything he say, but some shit I do. As I say, I'm a gun motherfucker. I am straight for guns. Now, I don't need to parade guns around here, but I would rather have guns when it means something. So I don't need to show guns, but I am very much for every motherfucker that's grown to have a gun. Now, if you crazy, maybe we have to think about it. Exactly, he shouted that motherfucker out. Everybody should check out the late 80s movie starring Martin. She called The Believers. Okay, we have to check it out. Oh, they took away his channel? RFG, really? I don't know. I ain't really. Yeah, that Brandon B. No, his name is Brian Logan, I think is his name. Anthony Brian Logan, so he goes ABL. And I am positive he works for them people too. However, Just because they work for them people don't mean everything that come out is not worthy. Because you have to listen to agents as well. Because you have to see how the agents is thinking. Because that's the job of an agent. An agent's going to give out some truths. I mean, look at King, look at Malcolm. I mean, some of the stuff they gave out was cool. Some of the stuff led us to the wrong place. And that's how we have to look at it. Don't make them enemies. Everybody got to survive. We understand that. There ain't no people. You selling out your people because ain't no people. There ain't no people that's together like that. You can't look and say it's us people. No, ain't nobody together like that. And that's just how it is. It ain't no unity. I think that the one time we had a time of unity was when Fred Hampton said it's classism, not racism. And you see how quick they snuffed him out. And he got set up. He got set up to get the national spotlight where he should have stayed back. I mean, that was probably going to get him anyway. But Fred speaking to national TV didn't help him. Put more eyes on him. And he's bringing everybody. He's saying classism, not racism. And that's it. That's still America. And that's what I try to point out. But what you have to understand is we have a country full of imbecile psychopaths. Like I was talking about that Forever Purge. Who do you think? Who do you think if they don't keep a tight grip on these imbecile psychopaths, what do you think they're going to do? They're eventually going to balk at the man. Sooner or later, they're going to be like the smart zombies, figure out that they're zombies. And they've been trained to hate certain things. But it's all training. It's all brainwashing. So what they're showing you, even a zombie can kind of get some consciousness. I mean, the Forever Purge is really about the imbecile psychopath of the lower class, or what is proposed. What is shown is even the lower class European said, why is we being held down? I'm trying hard as I can, and I'm still being held down. So they insurrect. That's basically the movie too. Another point, maybe I didn't say that, but it's that point as well. It's them people that's controlled to be their killers. And it was like, okay, you're going to give us these 12 hours of killing, and we done did this much. We can just keep killing all the way to the Capitol. We'll start taking it state by state. That's a message in it too. Is these killers wake up, these imbeciles wake up. And I don't know if wake means liberalism now. Do you see how they even play on words? Wake means liberalism. Yeah, I don't unify with everybody. Sorry, not sorry. There you go. I mean, there's no unity. So we can't say that, we for the people. We for the people that want to listen and really want to do solid things. Not this idea. I think the best thing they ever said was skin folk ain't kinfolk. Because we know that from Willie O'Keefe, we see skin folks will turn you in for nothing. They don't want to sit. They don't want to take it on the chin. And that's what's fucked up. We have a society of motherfuckers that won't take it on the chin anymore. Everybody's so soft that people won't take it on the chin and just sit there and be quiet or do business. Everybody want to tell on everybody. You fail, so you want to tell on everybody. We don't have a generation that would take the shit on the chin to the people that you loyal to. It ain't even just who I smoked, it's who I told on. That's what these young niggas should say. Who I told on. I told on Ricky. I told on Johnny. Who I told on. That's what it should say too. Who I told on. Because we got that society going too. Because you can't take it on the chin. What he saying, baby boy? Chuck it up. Take it. Motherfuckers are soft. who I told on. I told on Bobby. I told on Ricky. I told on Connie. Who I told on. That's the kind of society we got now. Who I told on. Oh yeah, CJ, definitely. It's a lot of different angles of that. And I'm sorry I didn't say that part last night. Tell me what you think of this map. How can I see it? With everyone a snitch nowadays. There you go, Big H. No integrity. Yeah, Sean. That's what there's too many snowflakes. When they get upset, they melt into a puddle and turn in everyone. There you go. Yep. So mugs can't take it in the chin. I mean, in life, sometimes you got to take it in the chin. Learn from it, not tell on. Not, oh, I'm hurt. My feelings hurt, so I got to go tell on everybody. That's what we have far too much of. We have far too much of who I told on. We got a who I told on society. I keep everything to me. I don't trust anybody. People snitch on you for a couple of dollars. What's the saying? You ain't never lied. Less than that. Less than that. They'll tell on you from less than that. I mean, what's the laws where motherfucker break in your house and you get to fighting outside and then you pop one in his ass and then they want to arrest you because you went outside? And they told me, this is the police academy. They said if you catch somebody in your house, if you shoot them outside, they said bring them inside. This is what these motherfuckers teaching my police academy told us. If you shoot him outside, cover up the blood and bring his ass back in the house. Because that's how fucked up the laws is. Remember, what is it? The Family Guy, him and the chicken would always fight all around. Well, they'd start telling you just fight inside. Pop his ass inside. You know, somebody come in your house, you can just shoot him. I mean, here, I think it's stand your ground even here. This is a pretty liberal gun state. I don't even know if that's liberal in the means that it's easy to get guns. I'm not sister girl. She up there talking about love thy neighbor while encouraging us to get that. There you go. There you go, Lorenzo. Starting to think that all these athletes, where'd I go? To play broke so people can keep that stereotype. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. 69 is an actor to promote snitching. There you go. Snitching and you still rich. You ain't had no hit record, but you can put some shit online. And we know how they lie. And they lie. Okay. Let's say it like this. The algorithm lies about these numbers. And no, they don't do it to everybody. There's an organic side of this thing where people can get, but there's an inorganic side where people can't really rise up. And they hold these channels down. And so you have a guy like him come out, and then they're saying he's made so much money just making a couple songs when he got out. He made internet money. This weirdo, this rap clown breaks the internet. They can't do that on purpose. This is where he supposedly got his money when he got out. This mug was on ice for what, 10 months, 11 months, almost a year. So I mean, he wasn't making no money. He ain't really had no big hits, but they tell you he gets out and he makes so much money, he can make fun of everybody else. That's what they tell you about the rap clown. That he spit such hot fire that everybody just had to listen to him on Instagram and all this other shit. The rap clown. How long them songs stay hot? Remember in Pootie Tang? You see what Pootie Tang was trying to tell you? When a song was a hit and you couldn't hear it, it's the Emperor Has No Clothes shit. Remember Pootie Tang? The hit was, you couldn't hear it. And then after a while, the people started dancing even though they couldn't hear the shit. Remember that in Pootie Tang? What they trying to show you? They're trying to tell you they can make that shit up to make it be a hit. So they can fuck with the algorithms. They can fuck with that shit. And they can manipulate it. And they manipulated some money in his pocket. so he can be rich with no hits other than some internet hits. What happened to the Guidem style? What happened to him? He had supposedly at 50 some million at the time broke the internet. What happened to him? How much of that money you think he got? Wasn't he from North Korea? And he had anti-American songs and shit, and motherfuckers is dancing to his stupid shit. I told on Ricky, I told on Bobby. That's right, who I told on. Let me write that down so I remember. But that's who we live today. You know, we live in that. That's what we live in. They can make and break anyone. Exactly. They can make and break anyone. Yeah. Always have been like that. And that's the like even like the Frankie Lyman story. I don't think people understand. It's like when it's like almost like this. Like Prince suffered and Michael Jackson a little bit when hip hop came in. When hip hop was turned to rap, Prince was ignored for years. Michael Jackson shit and Michael Jackson's last album with Break of Dawn and You Give Me Butterflies, that was probably some of the best produced music of all time. But did it get any play? The Butterflies and In the Morning or Break of Dawn, Break of Dawn. That's some of the best music ever played by one of the persons with the greatest musical minds ever. Listen to that shit. Break of Dawn and Butterflies. Listen to the harmonies. Listen to the way it's put together. And Butterflies was the one that got the most attention, but Break of Dawn is just brilliant. It is just a brilliant song put together, produced. And all that good music that Prince did, that he held it. Prince held that music because where was he going to sell it to? When they push rap, look at all the R&B people. They back to doing concerts in high schools. It's like people didn't want to hear R&B anymore. What did singers have to do? What did singers have to do to get relevant? They had to sing through that shit Herbie Hancock made. Roger Troutman made it famous. Roger Troutman was the first one to really make it famous, to sing it through that thing. T-Pain brought it back, but it was made. Herbie Hancock, I think, invented that shit. And we went through that a couple weeks ago. That's what singers had to do. They had to make their voice sound more computery to compete with rap. And all of a sudden, with this computery sound that everybody all of a sudden got to use to get put out there, that's the hit music now. Then singers can make hit songs. Do you see the agenda even in that? You got to do that. What did they say in CB4? Do you have guns? Do you call women hoes? Do you grab your junk? The formula. Remember that fiesta when they was talking about Snitch 9? Sent somebody to take Chief Keef. He ain't do that shit. There you go. Swear to auto cook. Yeah, you didn't know that, CJ? Yeah, Herbie Hancock, I'm pretty sure, invented that in 77. It wasn't somebody put it here before. It wasn't the Watermelon Man, because that was really Herbie Hancock's first major hit, even though he had been around. But Watermelon Man was doom, 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 doom. That shit, Watermelon Man is nice. But I think it's 77 is when he starts singing through one. I think it's the album he made in 77. Yeah, because Jimmy would have been, The Fall. Because we used to sit, I had a partner, we used to go over his house and I would talk about it. We'd smoke weed and we'd try to talk about each other. And it was really me talking about him. I remember my friend Jimmy was like, please don't talk about this motherfucker because you make him mad every time and he don't smoke as much when he mad. I'm like, if that motherfucker say one thing about me, this shit is on and I'm going to talk about his ass until we leave. He's like, I know you will. Blackity black. Trust Auto-Tune has taken over. Absolutely. One of these niggas around here had the Rude Boys performing in his basement. There you go. Butterflies was a beautiful produced record. I remember I listened to that record back in 01. I thought to myself that Michael got it. But Break of Dawn is one of my all-time favorite songs. And just the production of it is really, but Butterflies got more local play. But I remember I had the CD. Without auto-tune, the world wouldn't be any top hits. Not to compete with rap. Matter of fact, now even rappers use it. Now, no, rappers use it too. So singers today have to sound like rappers. I used to play. Yeah, exactly. They have to sound like that. The rappers even got to use it now. So, how long I've been going? I wasn't gonna go too long tonight. So I guess if anything, it's like I understand self-interest. I understand that. But we have to show men to take it on the chin. Women too. We all got to, it's a give and take. Like when you're married, it should never be a dominance of one dominating the other. It should be a togetherness. Should be a togetherness in it. And too many people try to find or copy what they saw. Somewhere you got to break that. If you saw imbalance between your parents, you got to break that. You looked at them, and then it's up to you. And you in that position, you break what you saw. So it is a truly, you make it work, where it's an equal thing. I mean, again, balance ain't like this. Balance is this. That's balance. Balance is making it do this. You know, you're in the middle, and you got to run to this side, and you got to run to that side, and you got to run back. You know, balance means living above karma. And that's why I really, I ain't got nothing negative to say about the chakras, but you can live above all that. You don't need that. You don't need that. You can live above karma. So they don't want to tell you that. They want to stick you in karma. I don't accept your karma. I don't accept karma. I live above that shit because karma swings back. And what if I'm not looking? What if I'm living my best? I'm living my best, but I don't be looking, and karma just. Don't you want to be above that? Why would you want to keep yourself in that? You be standing on that shit like, when you have a glass floor, you be standing on that shit, and you see that shit swing under, you be like, fuck you, karma.
Yeah, you see my pouches?
What?
A little green can.
A green can?
Yeah.
No. You dipping and spitting?
No, they're not like.
No, I ain't seen that. Partnership, teammates. Rapper uses the same tune more than everybody else. Kendrick Lamar is the most overrated I've heard in my life. Togetherness is correct. Yeah. Yeah, partnership and teammates. Nothing less. Nothing less. I mean, even your friends. It ain't like you ain't got to be committed to people, but even your friends, you treat your friends like that. It's the same thing. What make you be friends? What make you be, you got to look at that. The same thing, just all your real personal connections. And everybody needs to be cool with somebody. And so even how do you treat your friends? Somebody treat like I was talking about Zach being giddy and shit. Some people like what was the movie The Great White Hype? Remember The Great White Hype, how he treated all his dudes? He took a ring like he didn't give a shit about it, and his boys just saw, and that's the same thing that Drake say about a Gucci belt. That scene in The Great White Hype was the same thing. When he threw the champ through the ring, and they all going for the ring. And then champ say, let me see the ring. I want the ring back. You don't treat your people like that. That's why at the end, when he get knocked out, he's like, you's a goofy, sucker. Okay, Samuel, thank you for joining. I'm not going to go too much longer. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much longer. The Great White Hype, though, the end of it when they all dance is one of the best parts of the movie. They all show their own expression of dancing and shit. I love that part because it shows the people at their normal. It shows the people at their normal selves. And the beat is like where everybody can get on there. Boom. It was like, I'll say this. Like my daughter's baton thing tonight, it's interesting watching a lot of the people that don't have rhythm. It's just interesting because there was this girl that does this thing where she dances with this hat, and they cut out one of her things, and I'm glad they did because the first time I watched her thing, they didn't think out what she did. My mother and I just looked at each other. This girl was having a hat, so it's going to be like a cabaret. So she's doing a kind of a cabaret thing. She did a move that was loud. I'll just say the move was pole kind of regime. And she did this move to the audience, and my mother and I just kind of looked at each other, and I'm like, "Did you?" When we got to about each other, I'm like, "Did you see that?" Yeah, it was like, yeah, not appropriate. So they cut that out because I filmed it last week because I was gonna film it and show it to them like this ain't appropriate, but they cut it out. So somebody told them what she did wasn't appropriate. It's like, I understand doing the splits and all that stuff, but she did a move where no, don't do that. Don't do that. I understand cabaret, but that move's got to be taken out of it. I'm listening to Break of Dawn right now. That song sounds beautiful. That song should have been promoted more. Oh, Break of Dawn is one of my all-time favorite. I mean, just the production. It's one of the best produced songs of all time. Butterflies is too, because the harmonies in Butterflies. But that actually, I forget, Human Nature, maybe, I can't remember what the name of that was. But it was some of the best music. Imagine playing bass watching motherfuckers with no rhythm. That's all I do at weddings. Oh, yeah. So some of these girls just like, they can baton and stuff, but when they doing like the cheer, they do palm. And I guess the difference, they explained to me tonight. So they do like there's game cheering. Like, so tonight we had one of the family doing, she had to go to practice where my daughter had a recital. So my daughter's godmother went with us, and her goddad and her god sister went to her practice. And so what my daughter did was kind of she's got another event, state or nationals is coming up. So they was kind of all doing, dress rehearsal for the families. But it's just funny watching. Even the girl with the little hat, it's like the stuff is so stiff, it's so stiff. And they do a little step. I was teasing my daughter, and you could just see the little girls that they do kind of a double step, like as they move from one position, they kind of double step, and you can see just the stiff people. And I'll say this: I appreciate people that adopt melanated children, but if you adopt a melanated child, I'm seeing too many European people that can't do their hair. And that, I don't understand that. If you're going to adopt her, watch YouTube. They'll show you how to do their hair. And I saw two little girls. One little girl's mom is okay. She's in high school, so her hair's a little okay. But this other girl, you could just tell her mama just combed it back. And the little girl surprised me. She's ready to move up because she was like where my daughter was 3 years ago, and she was like, she had it. She had it. So I'm pretty sure they'll move her up. She's ready to do more. But it's funny about the teaching is even football, you can teach people to play football in 3rd or 4th grade. You can do the same thing in basketball. And what doesn't get enough love is the coaches that put that time and effort to teach little children like that. Now, I'm a firm believer children shouldn't tackle probably till 9th grade. I mean, it would be better for their heads if they don't play tackle football till 9th grade. 7-on-7 from little boys up is fine. That's what football basically is. And I know a lot of people say linemen won't get to work. I agree. But I would say you play 7-on-7 too. Teach your linemen some other skills because they really shouldn't be bumping heads until they're in 9th grade when they go to high school. Just the way their brains are formed. When my son was in 8, 9 years old, I saw him got knocked out a few times, stunned. And being stunned is a concussion. Children that young shouldn't have concussions. So ain't no excuse to have hair crispy, cream, as research learn exactly. So yeah. So I'm looking at it because this stuff ain't cheap. Take these lessons ain't cheap. You gotta, even if you just do it for some months, you paying a nice little bit. This is like not really one-on-one, but it's small classes. And this is a commitment. I mean, what it was like last February, me driving home at 9 o'clock and it's pitch dark and I'm driving home through an ice storm, or it was an ice storm, and I got to drive about 30, 40 minutes. It's that kind of dedication, where it don't really seem like much, but it's like in the summertime, it's beautiful. This is the end. So she won't start again until the end of September. So this is the end of this shit. But February ain't the end of it. And it's it gets It gets dark at 5 o'clock in February. So it's a commitment. But make the commitment to your children. If you're going to step that way, learn. That's what I love. I love my daughter's, my middle daughter's mother, because she figured it out. It's funny. My oldest daughter's mother used to wear wigs because she used to try to compete with my ex-wife, so she would wear wigs. Now our daughter's wearing, because our daughter has hair like her, and things, women do to their hair. So now my daughter's full butterfly eyelashes, full, hat hair. Whereas my middle daughter will never have that problem. Her hair is kind of like mine. Maybe somewhat like my mother's, but a little thicker. But her mother learned everything how to do it since she was a little girl. And so I've always applauded her. And she can do her hair. If you see my middle daughter, her hair's always whipped. And then my youngest has hair like her mother. She has my skin, but she has hair like her mother. She's flowing freely. She had about that much cut off, and it's still down to the middle of her back now. So, yep. Hey, Tariq, thank you for joining me. And I'm for all the people. I mean, don't think that it's like I'm against anybody. It's never about that. It's never about individuals. And that's what's funny. Like people on Facebook, I talk so much shit. They're like, they get up in arms and they be emotional. I'll be talking shit and I don't even be emotional about the shit. Like I got sucked into a comment and I hit them. And everybody else had one sentence after I hit them. Yeah. I got sucked into it, so I'm going to give y'all that business. Because I do know better. But sometimes I take the bait just because I like to keep my shit sharp. And all everybody had to say is one sentence. Yeah. Because I put it out there. Check that Martin Sheen movie, The Believers. Okay, I'll check it out, PJ. Well, y'all, I'm going to get a divination, and then I'm going to call it. Yeah, I'm going to have to call it because I got a kind of a busy day tomorrow. We should be at 13 platoons, 0 cartoons, 8 tunes. We have 11 Unos, and we are down to 13 kin. And 13 platoons will never in our lifetime hear anything else. I did want to add this. And then when people ask me about Tollinger, what is his name? Michael Tollinger. So there's some shit called this is some interesting shit because Tollinger is an Anunnaki guy. And so Tollinger tried to take credit for they give it the European name of Adam's calendar. They want to say it's the oldest that kind of monument that shows the star system and things, which we know the Mayan shit go back millions of years. There's the stele in Planiki that shows years in the millions, just like I'm saying 13 platoons. It's some of them platoons like 1 or 2 millions of years back. Now they only credit the Mayans with 3000 BC, but they've got records of it going back older. Their time system shows it's older. So when we talk about Allen's calendar, and I'll say this. I want to put it like this. If you look at a society, you can't pick one part of it and say that's the society. The society has to match in every way. You have to see, do the fractals match up? Do the science match up? Do the physical attributes match up? Can you say these people are physically like these people and do physical things the same way these people do? I mean, all these things have to be considered. And if any of them don't fit the perfect square, then it makes you have to pause. So it's on Amazon Prime. Okay. I'll look at that. Michael Tollinger, something ain't right with that. And yeah, so Tollinger tried to take credit for discovering this Adam's calendar that's in South Africa. But what they try to do is they try to show, because it's near a gold mine, and they can show that they think 100,000 people lived in this thing goes for miles. It's like this is a whole society that they found in Africa. And some Africa. Now, I read something today that this pilot says he found it. But I remember hearing the Africans that live down there, and they say they found it and they cleared it. And they say Tallinger came in there and started filming like he did it. But there's a video you can do where they're talking about, no, this man didn't clear any of this stuff. This man didn't find any of this stuff. But the point they were saying, he didn't clear any of it. We cleared all this so you could see it. And then he comes in and tries to claim it. And if you find the early works on Adam's calendar, Tellinger tries to take credit for it. And right then, that told me he was phony as everybody else. But they try to say that this is connected to the Anunnaki. They try to say is E and Marduk lived in that shit. But one thing they see, and I'll add this. One thing they see there is that when they did agriculture, they did agriculture in terraces. Where else do we see that? Where else do we see terrace agriculture that is still being used in Taiwan, Vietnam? Could it be South America? Where they learned that you can grow things on terraces. This little terrace here will grow this little terrace here will grow that. So we know the Mayan had that technology. We know the Chauvin in Peru had that technology. So and I guess, I pause because somebody has said something like Angkor Wat. Like Angkor Wat purposely wasn't taken care of. It was like certain strong sites like that, they kind of wanted to grow over so we wouldn't even notice stuff. And we saw that a lot in America. As I'm riding through Wisconsin, it's obvious that this is a state of nothing but mounds. They just put these farms over, these milk farms, these cow farms under these mounds. I mean, you ride through Wisconsin, you can just see them everywhere, mounds everywhere. Even down here, I see a lot of it, but especially over there in Wisconsin. It's nothing but flat land, but you look at the farms and you're like, wait a minute. And then you look at what they call some glacier shit and you're like, wait a minute, this looks like a giant mound. So we don't have any nature sites to go there and take care of because that's part of our jobs as well. If there's a site there, we should go take care of it. And I'm guilty of it too, because at the 4th of July, the mound that's about 45 miles of me on St. Paul, the tribes go try to clean up after the 4th of July. And I'm guilty too. I didn't make it down there. So, but so it's day 15. And day 15 is men, ego, higher collective mind, planetary mind, and conscious. And energy is coming out of the west. And then that is the representation of the ego. There's the wings down below. And then the Toltec, we have Coatl or ego. In this card image, we see an eagle warrior. We know this because of the feather on his head. He is painted black, which together with the red were the colors of knowledge. Being painted black signifies his reunification of the mundane world and his dedication to the quest of spiritual knowledge. The warrior is Quetzalcoatl in his human form. He is throwing a spear that represents both attention and also the number one, symbol of the Great Spirit, the one. On the top card, we see the eyeball representing the action of attending, so it's not Marduk's eye. The image Quetzalcoatl as eagle warrior fashion is remaining on top to stop looking only at the mundane world and to focus on attention on the presence of the one. In this way, we can maintain our equilibrium, which should be a top goal for dual-natured beings as we are. The eagle card represents the freedom of elevation from what is low through our own effort. Getting the eagle card means that you need to and can elevate yourself from whatever is oppressing you, no matter how low you think you are. The freedom of that eagle spirit portrays is a self-liberation process that isn't directed against any exterior enemy. The only real enemy is our attachment to actions and situation and habits that give us no life, but that we remain attached to out of the fear of trying something new. The ego voice says you can stop the habit that is killing you now. You can leave that person who does not represent you now. You can leave a job that is killing your spirit. You can start now living the life that your spirit longs for. You can stop hurting your body by eating in a way that you know isn't good for you. You can leave behind the physical or emotional addiction that sustain your false mask of weakness. You can change all those things now. You are much stronger than you've ever imagined. This is the elevation the ego represents. The barrier to a better life has always been inside you. And inside is the first place where you should overcome them. Interchange will be expressed in action that would empower your life and your world. Be aware that elevation of the ego doesn't happen through fighting against what crawls. It is a transmutation into something higher. Psychologically and spiritually means you will achieve your elevation through your own passion for flying and not through fighting with the negative parts of yourself. What you consider to be negative parts are going to be transmuted by your search for elevation. Instead of thinking of terms of destroying the parts of yourself or your life that give you more trouble and don't do you good, think about transmuting them. First, try to determine the good that you are trying to achieve through your mistaken behavior. Look behind the action and ask yourself, what good am I trying to achieve through this behavior that is important to me? Whatever you find, keep asking the same question. If you get to the bottom of your motivations, you will find that you are looking for something positive even in your most negative behavior. Think about teenagers that go to the beach to get drunk and leave the place full of trash and risk their lives by driving drunk. It is an example of destructive behavior, but at the bottom of their heart, they are looking most likely without knowing it to make a connection with something that may provide stability and sense of security for their souls. They do not know it, but they yearn for the Great Spirit as much as any other being. They just don't know a better way. The message is find the seed of good hidden in your negative behavior and fly into it in a better way to achieve what you seek. And you know, what is the saying? Is this is what they love to say, as above, so below. But you know, the same reality is as below as above. Because what do they say in the ends of the thing of the gods, the myths? They have to believe in us to give us life. And the minute a man quits believing in us, we disappear. So what happens below definitely affects what is above. So you hear them say that shit, throw that. As above, so below. As below, so above. So as MJ says, reverse that and see if it makes sense what you're doing at the time. Especially in your spiritualness. Especially in your spiritualness. Dang, I didn't catch up. Oh, there we go. So think about that as well. Think about that as well. As I say, I don't have any hate or malice for anybody. I am trying to be a cancer to the inside of this thing. Because that's the only way we can beat it. We can't physically beat it. We have to beat it in other ways. And we have to, the thing about it is they let us use it to try to beat it. And so it's not about being anti all the time. Ride the wave. That's what they gave you. They gave you a wave to ride. Ride it. We stuck in this, so ride it. Can't say that you anti something or anti this. Accept it and just ride it. And then use this thing. I'll say if there's anything about capitalism, it lets you use it. Because every little cut in it counts. Because the freeing is freeing of the minds, freeing of the wills, understanding fates. These are the freedoms. understanding what really free will is. And do you want it? Seems like it offers a lot of that. Once you get a certain way, that's the first thing they want to throw at you. Well, that's all about free will. So you can use that too. You can use that too. I mean, all this stuff. I don't say throw the Jesus stuff out. Don't throw that out either. Don't throw the Samson out. Some of this stuff, you can use it. Can't just say it's all out of pocket and you can't use it all. Use it all. I mean, everybody is putting their own masterpiece together. So it's a lot of history that you can say, this makes sense. I'm going to plug this here. This makes sense. Plug it there, plug it there, plug it there. Can't just get turned off by it. It's like when you listen to certain people, like me and PNF are doing things. If I go in there with my ego, I can't even hear what he got to say. So we doing a thing. I want to hear what he has to say. So I can't be in my ego or I won't hear what he has to say. That's why when I talk about flat plane, I always bring out a cue. Because if I can't really put myself there, I can't really talk about it. So I had to put myself there to talk about it. But yeah, I was supposed to bring PNF on and I couldn't make it. I was at a phone, but I wasn't with all this equipment. So I didn't make it home in time. So please forgive me. But I think with him, I can do a really good show. Got a couple things in mind. So got to get everything lined up. And that was another thing. I didn't make it home and I didn't get everything lined up. So, I mean, I love life and I love everybody. I'm not in love with everybody. I love life even when it's bad. I still love it because it's life. Because when it's bad, it's still good because you still, what do dudes say when it comes to getting your head chopped off or staying in prison forever? What do they say? I'll take in prison forever, Judge, for $3,000. They don't care. They just want to be alive. And that's basically everybody. I mean, where I live, this is very humble. I mean, this is very humble abode. When anybody saying I front and try to, no. $10 for a new shirt every other day ain't much. I'm probably the greatest Marshall shopper ever. I like hats. I mean, I was in Michigan. I think, you see, my brother bought me a hat. My mother bought me a hat, and I think I bought 3 hats. So I like hats. I've had this hat for a couple years. My daughter was like, she said, please don't wear a bucket hat. So I showed up with this one. And I paid enough. This straw hat wasn't cheap. And the store is not there anymore. The store left. They had good hats. Haberdasheries, I think they call them. So, I have no hate for anybody. We all can work together. There's no doubt. Doesn't mean that we all the time agree. Like I was saying, if you're an agent and I understand you're an agent and I'll understand, then that's okay. I can still deal with you because I know where you at. You ain't lying about who you are. I appreciate that. Now, there's agents. What was they called in World War II? The French Renaissance, and they try to blow shit up here and blow shit up there. I can't really deal with them because they try to stay in the shadows. I don't like dealing with people in the shadows because you try to stay in my shadow too. So I don't really deal with that well. I like people out front who they are. And I can break bread with anybody. And just because we disagree on this, don't mean we disagree on the total. Because I know warriors when I see warriors. And I know people that put love out there. Love is supreme. That's why they want to link love with hate. It ain't the same. Love is supreme. If there's anything supreme on this planet, it's love. Love trumps all. Love is supreme. There's no equal. Love and hate ain't the same thing. Joy and pain ain't the same thing. Love and joy sit by themselves, and bliss. I'll say bliss with all them. They ain't, because you can hate something and have never loved it. You can love something and never hate it. But they want to take away the power of love that is supreme. And anything that Jesus said, love each other. Love each other. And that's a hard thing to do for most. And when Tim Frisk, I think that's how his name is, when he talks about lucid living, love it all. That don't mean that you in love. No, love it all. Because you experiencing it. That's what lucid living is. I understand that, and I'll pass that on. It's almost like the movie is playing out in front of you. It almost is like that. And at a certain point, you're able to predict the movie. At a certain point in your life, you get it. And that's, to me, the aha moment. The aha moment is when you really call it out and you watch it all unfold in front of your face. That's more the aha moment than understanding some religion system. And you say, oh, okay. No, aha moment is saying, I've already figured this out. And look at what the fuck happened. I'm not surprised. That's aha. When you see how this thing operates, and you're like, this bullshit again. Okay, this is bullshit. Hello, yeah, this shit is on some bullshit again. Okay, you saw it too. Yeah, I saw it too. That's the aha moment. So that's the part that I guess maturity gives you. As I said before, you think you dying, tell this thing you ain't scared of dying and see how much better you start feeling. Because this thing don't want people to not fear death. Like last night, I must have been snoring hard. And I caught myself not breathing. And one of myself said, fucking breathe. They called me Toby. Myself called me my nickname. Like, Toby, fucking breathe. One of myself came in and was like, you got to fucking breathe, dude. And that's one of your other selves coming in, checking on you, saying something ain't right because it affected down the line. It's like, hey, let's go check on this mug. He's snoring hard, whatever. Now I'm not wearing the thing to not clench my teeth. Got to go get it some more. So, all right, I'm going to end with Mora, as I always do. Mora is kind of instead of the time walkers saying good morning or hello, they would say Mora. And Mora was understanding that you were civilization builders, and that civilization builders, you weren't permanent. You had to leave where you're from and you had to go build a civilization. But once the civilization gets to its peaks and it's thriving on their own, it's time to go do it again. And that's why it says it all starts with a gentle sadness. That's what the part of the gentle sadness means. It's like you've taken on being a civilization builder. But what did Lot's wife? You can't look back. Once the civilization is moving, you don't look back and see what you've accomplished. It's on to the next one. Because if you look back, you've frozen in what's behind you. So you keep going. So that's why it does start with a gentle sadness, because even though you are raising this civilization to great heights, you're not really benefiting from it. Because as soon as it gets to where it should be moving, you got to move on. That was only a job. So it all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homeland. They knew that they had the exact number of years and days before they would disappear off the earth as a culture and a lifestyle. But the civilization would build to a gentle love. They lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles in the great serpent. And as the Mayan loved to say, when you're dealing with somebody else, it's I am another yourself. So if you want to say hello to anybody, I am another yourself. When they hear that, they will understand. That's a very, very old saying of the Americas. And I think one of my things is to reclaim what's in the Americas. So many Europeans have claimed what's in the Americas. They have claimed our science. When we was using crystal balls and mirrors as telephones. It's taken away from us and hidden from us, locked away. Skulls. We're using skulls for communication. Taken away, spookified, all spooked to make us scared of, what did Bobby Hemmings say? You scared of your own shit. And there's reasons why they want to keep you away from a lot of this stuff, especially going deep in it. Now, some of this stuff I don't vibrate on. I don't have nothing negative, but it's things I don't vibrate on because I know me. Well, very well spoken, homie. He says, notice how there's an explanation for every hate situation, but not for love. Love is supreme. There you go. Well, you guys, I think I'm going to call it. Yeah, I got a few things to do in the morning. Probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Probably. I like to do the weekly thing. So this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Appreciate Denise. Thank you for your help. I do appreciate it. That's some dyslexic shit there. They be like, I think the guy's a little drunk, you guys. And it's no cop out, but if you see me comment and the shit is spelled backwards, please give me a break. Because I do have dyslexia and I'm 60 years old. So give me a break if you see it spelled. I don't need the spell. What do they say on Facebook? The spell police to come get me. Because I get the shit mixed up. Oh, have him call me. Because my friend, oh, man, let me tell you. Gosh, I don't even know how to describe this thing. But Bomber. But yeah, make sure he calls me because my friend talks stuff to me. She teased me. My rock shop has moved to a bigger location. So it's deeper, it's bigger. And my friend, and I've got to show you the link. She bought a bed that Bomber has shown. And the beds are costly. These beds cost $7 or $8 grand, but they're very, I can't say that they're similar to acupuncture, but there's a way that they can heal with frequency and sound and a little bit of vibration. So I'll get the name of that stuff, but she does it here. But I'm starting to connect people with her. Hopefully I get to see her next week. And so it's almost like having a massage, but no one has to touch you. And so I'm starting to hook people up with this thing. It's like a massage, though, basically. It's another way to do it. But yeah, have him call me for sure. And we can go to the new one because I'm looking forward to it. It's not far from the other one. It's in Ridgedale. So I'm not too far from. So yeah, make sure your partner calls me and I'll go scoop him. I'll go scoop them. And yeah, we'll go to the rock shop for sure. Just have them, you know my stuff. So you know my stuff and tell them, say hello. Can we go? And yeah, we go hang out. We'll go hang out and hit that rock shop because his rocks have the most vibration. This. Most of my rocks come from him. I can't say no. This one too. I was about to say not this one. That'd be a lie. Not this one. I got this from Heaven and Earth. This is supposed to prove the caves of Nakia that they've since let flood out. So Nakia stuff is going to be more expensive. But this is selenite. Borax, same thing. You can make selenite. Like you can make crystals like. Like my daughter and I made these crystals. Blue dye. I'm breaking them, touching them. Oh, and I almost dropped this one. And that's how easy it is to make them. This is a little Christmas gift. We made some crystals, and now they're sitting on my little table. So definitely do that, Crazy Sarge. That would be cool because I need to go to the new crystal shop anyway. That'd be a great excuse to go. So this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. Till we meet again.